Hey everybody, it's been a long time and I'm back with another battle report. This is a Hellpeace Rift campaign battle report, but there's also lots to learn for our normal games. Ratkin versus Order of the Brothermark. Let's get cracking.
Hello there! I like to watch battle reports to get better at games. So I started making short, summarized battle reports that focus on learning points. So welcome to my channel, Newbie Dice. Do like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you enjoy my videos.
All right, so this is part of our local campaign, and there's been a story that I've been writing that ties each plane together. As we're nearing the end of the campaign, I was a little bit fatigued and the stories get simpler and simpler. But nonetheless, if you have been following the story in the last few battle report games, this is the final chapter before going into the finale, and you can pause on each slide to read the story. Okay, so let's talk about the ethereal plane. Firstly, there's this dark energy. When we're near the objective, spellcasters roll one extra dice, or rather re-roll one dice. Okay. Or the value of the objective, so it might be worth 2 for some of them. And terrain, we have a dark wood that has a additional -1 when you're inside it against shooting. And the butcher's flesh mound is a hue that if you're on it, you get dread. There's a mind thirst item. There's 2 spells. One is weakness with a little bit of damage. The other one adds attacks to a hero, okay, which might be useful if you have a duelist or you have extra, double your attack against monsters and titans, which is what Brothermark has. And Mikhail has it also if you're Twilight Kin. In terms of the channeling table, now this is something, you know, all this here might be optional, but this is definitely happening every turn. So number 1 is stealthy. Number 3 makes a unit lose steady aim. So a lot of anti-shooting in this plane. So a lot of people are not taking a lot of shooting basically. Strider is pretty cool. -6 inch of spell is situational. It's good against me because drain life 6 inch becomes 0 inch. Okay, there's a frozen effect, which is interesting as well. So all of your units have a potential of -1 speed that is -2 inch threat range. So you have to take note of that. For my list, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but you can see that I have shock troops in every size from troop to hordes. In this campaign, if you have been following, we will have 1 unit and 1 hero that can level up and gain extra abilities, which are randomly rolled. So one of my shock troop hordes, it has the heavy halberds for phalanx as well. It has +2 nerf, +3 attacks, and Brew of Strength click pods. For my hero, the Brood Mother is also pretty kitted out. He has +3 attacks, Pathfinder. So the +3 attacks work for its melee and ranged. The Blight Staff is using its attacks value. So it has 8 shots and 8 melee attacks. Pathfinder Elite on all its melee, shooting, and it actually has Elite from Blessing of the Gods, right? And +3 inch spell range. So my opponent, Brothermark, his usual list is 3 Ogre Palace Guards with 3 Order of the Abyssal Hunts. So that's 6 hammers. So he usually play by a saturation of threat. There's 6 hammers, you can't take them all out. Eventually he's gonna outgrind you by just having lots of hammers. But every game he tweaks and tries a little bit of different stuff. So in this game, I think he's trying the Spearman Horde, and he even gave them a Brew of Sharpness. And also he's trying Foot Guard troops, which I think are pretty good. Nonetheless, playing Order of the Brothermark is not a very popular army, right? So it's also a little bit difficult to find an effective list. And it tends to like Palace Guards a lot, which is also available in Basileia. So you have to decide, why am I taking Brothermark instead of Basileia? Usually when a player takes Basileia, it's because of the special characters. They also have Elohai and Sisters, which are both not very popular picks, but people like to take Basileia mainly because of the heroes, the unique special characters. For Brothermark, I guess Order of the Abyssal Hunt is pretty good, so that's why my opponent liked to play a a lot of Order of the Abyssal Hunt. The Exemplar Hunter is pretty good, which he also made his general is very powerful. He has higher nerf, more attacks, Pathfinder, and Rally. Yeah. His bodyguard unit has +3 attacks and vicious, which makes it very killy. Yeah, so one of the ways to run is triple Palace Guard, triple Abyssal Hunt. I think one other way to run Brother Mark would be a lot of infantry, a lot of Paladin foot guards, like troops for chaff, and regiments, two-handed weapon regiments with the unit that gives the elite aura, and then with the Paladin hero that gives the rally to infantry only. So once you go that, you have to go all in infantry because the rally doesn't benefit the Palace Guards. So you just need to really that rally and that elite aura, just try to spam as much Paladin foot guards in as possible. Troops for chaff, two-handed regiments for sort of half hammers. Let's go. So this is turn 1, top of 1. I guess I missed out the deployment shot, but we're playing raise the tokens on the 6-inch line, right? So the tokens I place on my opponent's side, 1 here on the left, 2 on the right. I think the third one is somewhere near the demon spawn. Of course, I could only burn it on the top of 2, but I would fly up to, stake my claim to not let him come close to it. Turn 2, I'm just gonna burn it off. The 3 on my side, 1 on the left forest here. I think 1 on this hill over here, and 1 over here. So these 2 units these 2 terrains are the special terrain. So this is the one, this is the dark wood. Let me just pen it down. This is the dark wood, and this is the butcher's flesh mound, which has the dread aura. And then this one has if the unit is in the woods, it has additional -1 against shooting. Okay, I have 2 blocking terrains here, which is very interesting. So I could only fit that 1 horde in this window. Notice my opponent is all cramped into the center. So he left his sides empty. I think he left the right side empty because he don't want to be stuck, unable to charge anything here because all my stuff is protected in the flank because of the castle terrain over there. And on the left side, I think he just wants to bunch up fortress, build a fortress. So this allows this brute enforcer on the extreme flank to do a little bit of shenanigans. I opened up, I probably lightning bolted something. I think I dealt a little bit of damage to the wizard. I thought the wizard was most vulnerable. I decided to start chipping down on the wizard. So on his turn, notice how the entire right side, even all the way up to the spearman here, all tilted a little bit to face here. And then he has to be careful to pack everything in so that I do not get any flanks, for example, here, right? So it's protected by the ogres. Okay, this is his killy unit of Ogre Palace Guard, while my upgraded shock troops are the black ones over here. Okay, so this unit is the tunnel runners, in case you're wondering. Okay, so let's see. I think I counter deployed my phalanx shock troops opposite his only cavalry. Okay, Villian skirmishers in front over here. So if you look at this unit over here, that is his general, his hero, fighting hero on a mount, doubling his attacks on titans. So it's prepared to receive my demon spawn. No matter if I try to fly over, he's definitely going to be able to charge it. Okay, so his wizard also lightning bolted at my demon spawn. So my turn. Because this is top of 2, I want to burn that token, so I stayed back, burning that token. I don't want to come forward as well because of his hero being there, able to ground me wherever I go. So I shuffled all my forces up a little bit more. And one key thing that happened in my favor was that my demon spawn lightning bolted the wizard, and I dealt some damage and I rode high on the nerf and wavered it. So that stops the exchange of lightning bolts. Right, I dealt some damage here to wound the Villian skirmishers. I think it's my Brood Mother here with the 18-inch 8 attacks elite. piercing 1, pretty strong. Okay, so something interesting about this terrain setup is that there's 2 line of sight blocking terrain over here, the hill, which is height 3, and the forest, which is height 9. So a lot of things can't see through the forest. So the way I position, if I rewind just once picture. So these 2 units in the center are able to threaten to the end of the forest. So that's why the spearman isn't there to step into the forest. These ogres also didn't step into the forest. I'm not sure if he managed to stay out of threat range. I think he didn't, but he was quite sure that he wouldn't die to 1 charge of the tunnel runners, especially hindered. Yeah, so there's this face-off over here. So notice how I'm also skirting around the forest, not letting his spearman be able to see this unit over here, but peeking out through this window of these 2 pieces of terrain. So let's see what he did in response. So what he did was he pushed this on the right side. Let's talk about the right side first. Yeah, he pushed the paladin troop forwards, closer to the demon spawn, and then he moved his hero up behind it. Okay, I think he wanted to threaten, because I stayed out of 16 inch of his hero, right? So now he's inching his way closer. So the ogres are there to support from behind as well. And I think this is more than 20 inches. I can't be sure right now. And what interesting thing he did was he pushed this paladin troop upwards. If I rewind 1 picture, this is where it was. He moved at the double up to this hill. The reason why it moves so far forwards that it's trying to block my horde from charging this red color horde over here. Let me switch to the pen. So I can't rotate past the paladin to charge the units behind. So he's trying to sandwich me between this terrain and itself. Okay, but because he did this, right, I draw this line. Okay, sure, the horde will be able to flank charge this troop. He wanted my horde to come up anyway, so that he has 2 ogre hordes to counterattack. So, but instead, because this flank is exposed to the shock troops, the regiment, I was able to charge the regiment only. Okay, let's just talk a little bit on the left side here. He pushed everything backwards. He's trying to, I think because he has, 2 hordes of ogres here, his general is here, and the spearman is here. I think he's trying to delay the left while winning the right. Okay, so you can see his left is pushing all the way backwards. So what happened now is this. So firstly, on my center, I was able to charge this regiment into the flank of the paladin troop, although it's hindered by the forest, but it's still 30 attacks on the side. I was able to Bane Chan from the tangle. And even this unit could, this Broodmother could add some drain life damage. Okay, on top of this, on the right side, my Vermintide was able to charge the Paladin troop. Okay, and then my Demon Spawn is able to hide behind the Vermintide. So let me just go to the next picture and you'll be able to see that. So my Vermintide charged forward like this, and my Demon Spawn hid behind the Vermintide. So this is a very good position for me. This allowed my Demon Spawn to threaten more towards the center. It's inching its way upwards while staying safe from this Exemplar hero because it's exposing its front to it and it's protected by the Vermintide. Okay, over here in the center, because this Shock Troop Regiment killed off the troop, it's 30 attacks, hitting on 5s and crushing 2 with a bit of Drain Knife support. Not too shabby, good chance of killing it off. And then now it's threatening this Ogre Horde over here. Okay, so initially he wanted to, let me draw the pen, double charge these 2 units of Ogres into this Horde. But now that I backed up this Horde, only 1 Horde is in range. The other one is quite out of range, yeah? And then this unit is threatening. So it's forcing it to do something at this point of time, which is not a good position for him to be in. On top of that, my Demon Spawn is already threatening these 3 units as well. So this is a pivotal part of the game. So what he did in retaliation, because my regiment is it's not a sure kill for one of his units because it's hindered going to the forest. So he double charged these two units, the spearman and the ogre horde. Okay, and then he had to reform. Okay, let's talk about the right side. The Vermintide went down, and you see these three units are looking at the demon spawn, but the demon spawn is gonna fly away. So coming back to the center, whenever you double charge, right, there's always this position, there's this cramping up issue, right? So you have the horde of spearmen over here, I shaded on the left, and the ogres on the right. So without one of the units moving sideways, the spearman could not pivot at all. So he decided to opt to push his ogres sideways. And it couldn't pivot because if it pivot, right, you'll be exposing the flank to this unit. So instead, this spearman went backwards so that I can't charge this flank. But I don't know how much it went back. Looks like 2 inches. But by moving back until here, it's still a flank charge from my Broodmother. My Broodmother is nothing to sneeze at. He has 8 attacks, Pathfinder, and Elite. So it's 16 attacks on the side, hitting on Force, Elite, CS1. So yeah, this ogre horde, after it moved sideways, then he realized, oh dear, he has exposed to the demon spawn. Okay. So the trap was successful. Let's see what happened next. The ogres over here got killed off by a demon spawn from the side and these shock troops from the front. Okay. The spearman got triple charged. So tunnel runners in front, shock troop in front, and the Broodmother in the side. So I've calculated this earlier. It will do 18 damage on average if the Bane Chant goes off. It's at Bane Chant 3, so it's a good chance of going off. So yeah, I have a good chance of killing off the spearman. So on top of that, if you look at the top right, these 2 units that's facing that direction suddenly has nothing to do because the demon spawn flew off. He has to spend one turn turning around and facing the front again. Sure, the hero is able to face any direction and charge. Over here on the right side, you can see that the opponent is still trying to delay. Okay, let's see what happens. So, oh yes, rewinding here, this is still my top of 4. My shock troops here finally moved up in this range, and you see, like, you know, it's in range definitely within 12 or even within 10 to charge. I popped the plague pots, which is this token over here. I used the Vermintide to block the frontage of the shock troops so that only one unit can charge in. He can't multi-charge in because of the blockage here, and with Ensnare, he's not gonna pop it. Okay, so let's see what he did in response. So his ogres, instead of going for this plague pots shock troops, he decided to charge the tunnel runners instead, and I think it wavered it, but doesn't matter. Tangle has Fury Aura, and he's gonna take a front and the flank. Very good chance of killing it off. Over here in the center, he charged this hero here, which I think it's a priest, plus his commander, his mounted hero on the rear. The reason for doing this is to pin my demon spawn, limiting its reform options, if I'm not wrong. While you see these 2 units turn around to face the front. Notice how the cavalry is still hiding behind. This unit has phalanx, so it's really not a good deal to charge. Okay, for myself, I've been starting to wait for myself to roll on the channeling table to get Strider so that I can charge through these waters. But I think I didn't get it for 3 turns. Since top of 4, I did not get it all the way until about top of 6. I did not get it on 6 either. So it was pretty hilarious. I've been waiting just to wait to roll a 4 on 3 dice to get Strider and charge in. Okay, so at this point, things are going very well my way. This ogre's horde went down, and I think I missed the picture in between. For some reason, I exposed this Broodmother, and then he charged his paladin troop in, which isn't gonna do much anyway, but it's also safe from reprisal. I killed off the ogres in the middle. Eventually, my demon spawn will die to these ogres. I think because I did not one round his hero. So the demon spawn went down to the ogres. And only on turn 7, we rolled a turn 7 and I rolled the Strider and I charged it to take out the cavalry. They have CS2 because of Brew of Strength and 33 attacks because they leveled up. Probably getting another Bane Chant for CS3, 33 attacks, CS3. So very good chance of one rounding. So that's the end of the game. This is Raze. I managed to protect my tokens and burn off his. So we can all see the pivotal point of the game, which was here, where I was able to flank charge. And with that, I have a good chance of taking it out with this regiment on its own. If he had forced me to must be able to commit this horde, then things would go quite differently. But this, plus the demon spawn able to get flanks by patiently waiting, killing off the wizard in the process. I think I lightning bolted it 3 rounds, and then landing here that forces to threatens to charge these 3 units in the center. So let's go to learning points. Firstly, hold your dragon back until your units have no choice but to face the front, to commit to face the frontal threat, and they will expose their flank to your dragon. Set up a piece that forces the opponent's hand. That would be my shock troop regiment, killing off his paladin troop and staring down at his ogres. It's telling the ogres, you must charge me and kill me. If not, I'm going to charge you. It will set things in motion. The demon spawns are threatening your flank, so on and so forth. Blocking terrain besides you can help you protect your flank and limit the number of multi-charges. Now the center terrain is pretty interesting. Hills and forest blocking the line of sight, which brings me to the next point. Hills are usually height 3. If you have a offensive unit that wants to charge, so it'll be great if your offensive unit are height 4 and above, so that they can see past the hill. The things you want to charge cannot hide behind the hill. While if you're a defensive unit, you will want to be able to have the option of hiding behind the hill, especially if they do not have height 4 to deal with it. Now always think of your unit's position after routing the enemy and regrouping. Sometimes you'll be placed in a very tricky situation. So it'd be great if you can use some proxy bases just to visualize where you will regroup. And of course, if you have to roll to go sideways, forwards, or backwards, you must assume the worst. What if I only roll 1, right? Then would I be eating flanks and rear charges because I rolled low on the regrouping roll? Also, you might want to think of it this way to set a trap for your opponent, and also that when he charges you, he will not be in a good position. Okay, with that, I've come to the end of this battle report. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please press the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified of my future videos. It's been a long time. Let's see if I can make more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.